Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. So we have a very short and I hope very intense and interesting panel on early stage investments. We've learned a lot in Web3 over the last years of ups and downs. And my first question is actually, do you think that now with the new wave there will be a new paradigm? But before that, I would kindly ask you to introduce yourself, how you work with early stage startups.
Starting from myself, okay. So I'm Ivan, founding partner of Unicorn.vc, the advisory firm and venture studio based in Hong Kong. So we focus on early stage startups from seed to Series A, mostly in Web3 space, accelerating them. So I'm investing, and I'm also CEO of WOW Summit, which is happening right now. Mostly we focus on different kind of use cases of DLT and blockchain, including payments, including infrastructure, including kind of like real life use cases of the blockchain technology.
Hi guys, I'm Chris. I'm the partner at Equilibrium Ventures. We're based in Finland, but we actually have 50 blockchain engineers in-house. So we help build Ethereum, Polygon, Solana. We built the first version of Starknet for Starkware, built the first version of Aleo, Celestia, zk-Sync. They're all our clients. So we help write the code pretty much for a lot of the underlying blockchain infrastructure companies that you see today. So what we focus on is like infrastructure companies, probably at the deepest layer of the blockchain stack. And we identify opportunities at like pre-seed to like Series A level companies in that space.
I'm Kelvin from Plutus VC. We are a Hong Kong-based VC fund. We primarily invest in token offering, and we have invested more than 300 projects globally.
Nice. They say high risk, high returns when it comes to very early stage startups. Since that's like 50-50, win or lose, how do I identify winners?
Yes, so I think for early stage startups, both for traditional venture capital space and crypto space, the crucial thing is the team, which is building the product, which is building the project, and the background of the team, the experience of building something in the past, failing or like winning. And of course, it's if you're talking about like very early stage investment, it's very hard to identify like whether the project will fly or it will fail actually. So looking at the team, looking at the business model, looking at the understanding of how they really like will make money, I think this is the most important thing.
What do you think? Do you emphasize the technological aspect more, or still the team is the key factor?
Yeah, so I guess when we invest in companies because of our, I guess, technical expertise, to a certain extent, maybe for some people it might be a bit more difficult to read through code, but because we have blockchain engineers in-house, all of them know Solidity or Rust or Golang or pretty much all the languages out there. So for us, probably the most important part is if your code base is solid. And that usually is probably the most important part for at least the infrastructure piece. There are other CEOs and kind of founding teams that are really good at marketing, but I think those are the types of companies that probably pump and like do well within like the short-term market in crypto. But all of our clients, for example, have outlasted every bear market because the code is solid and the technology is solid and developers want to build on top of those types of companies. So yeah, for us, it's pretty technological based.
So let's look at it this way. We are talking about crypto blockchain investment in the early stage, right?
Yes.
So there's no product, there's no tech.
Just wanted to add
There's
that.
just ideas. That's it, right? So when you just talk about the ideas. How do we even look at whether to invest or not to invest? Actually, in a traditional investment where I came from, you look at the team, you look at the background, you look at their capabilities, but all this in crypto and blockchain is not important in early stage. In early stage startup, when you are raising money, you are issuing the number one thing, and that is your token. So what is so important is that we look at the token. We look at what is your tokenomics. The project, the company may fail, but your token might succeed. Even meme coins have nothing. You know, they can fly 100x, 500x, right? So when we look at token projects and so on, it's a totally different perspective. And that is the criteria and formula to succeed.
All right, so then we have three different opinions. We have the team, the technology, and the marketing and tokenomics, or economy of the token. When it comes to very early, let's say you do the co-founding with other investors, right? And you come in the room and discuss, do we need to invest or not? If you would be in the room where we have three preliminary different opinions, how would you continue the discussion in this case?
So how I look at it, he goes for the long term, he goes for the mid-term, I go for the short term to ensure that all my project owners makes money.
Yeah, I think it's all about like type of the projects we are talking about, and so how the project, how and the investors as well, how they are going to make money. So if they're going to make money like on tokens and like on token hype, pump and down. So of course this is kind of like short term. If it's about like implementing some technology or like blockchain technology or whatever, or some infrastructure, so then it's of course it couldn't be like the short-term thing, but it could be if there is like also the marketing for the token or whatever.
I think it depends on, I guess, first of all, your time horizon that you're looking for in investments, as well as your risk appetite. So like 100%, a lot of people have made money on meme coins and like the speculation portion of it. But that is very short term and at the same time super volatile. Not to say that infrastructure is not volatile as well. But for example, if you guys know a company called Celestia, Celestia first started and they just raised, I think, like a pre-seed at like 10 mil, and then their most recent round they raised at $1 billion. And so for us as technologists, we're actually able to see the potential of a company like Celestia that early on at 10 million. And then that is what, like over 1,000x when they actually raised their round at $1 billion. So that is because the tech was actually solid. And so for venture funds like us, we're chasing after those returns that are 1,000x. And maybe that's a different risk profile than like a meme coin that might like 100x overnight, but there's also 1,000 other ones that like go to zero.
I agree. That is the beauty part about investment, right? Everybody is targeting a different market, a different stage, a different level of where the company is, and so on. The only biggest difference between traditional investment and crypto investment is that when you traditional investment, there's no tokens. You don't list the tokens out in the market. You probably list it later on, and so on. But in crypto investment, your token goes live in 3 to 6 months, especially in a bull market like today. If you were to tell any investors that invest in me today, and my token will be listed in the next bull run, majority of crypto investors will tell you, come back to me in the next bull run.
That's right. You know what's interesting? For me, I'm a compliance officer in Switzerland. None of you mentioned the legal part of the projects.
You didn't ask.
I asked what's most important. And actually, I wanted to ask, we are coming now in like 10, 15 minutes, we will be listening startup pitches. And I'm sure that all the startups are here now. What recommendation would you give them how to pitch, how to present their ideas, since we are talking about very early stages and it comes from idea, what recommendation could you give them for now, for today? How to impress you?
How to impress Ivan?
How to impress? Good question. So first of all, don't be shy, and make like the best presentation. So forget about like all the people in the conference hall. So imagine that there is nobody, and you are just like singing in the shower. So and then present the key things of your projects. And the best for investors is always the exit strategy. So how will you make money for investors? They don't care about like how good are you, how bad are you, how you make money.
Yeah, I guess for me, if you're a pre-seed or seed company, I would want to hear, because when you're a pre-seed company and you get to Series A, there's a really long road ahead of you. So I would want to actually hear like, what is your end term goal? Like, what is the ultimate goal that you're trying to build towards? And that might not be a certain product, but at least like a certain idea within blockchain that you're trying to solve, or the problem that you're trying to solve. Yeah, and then on the way, you're probably going to have to pivot one way or the other, but yeah, I would want to hear like what is the kind of ultimate solution that you're trying to provide.
Well, I would say, since this is early stage, present your idea in a very clear manner that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can understand. That's the most important point. Point number 2, show your background so that investors have confidence that you are able to produce what you are pitching. And point 3, show us where the investor's success would be.
Thank you. And last question.
And since you mentioned regulatory, at this very moment, don't worry about regulation yet. We are still in the Wild West, maybe probably the last bull run.
Well, come to Switzerland. But coming back to you and your recommendations. When you were choosing most important facts for startups to succeed, the team, technology, and marketing, but actually all of you exactly in those fields have your area of expertise. Do you have some acceleration or program that you could support those startups with exactly that expertise, which is that important for you? For example, they're lacking technological solutions, so your team could back them with that. Or they're lacking the marketing support, so maybe your team could back with that. Or they're lacking for certain team members or the business development perspective, and your team could back them up. How can they approach you, and with what, from perspective of certain acceleration?
Yeah, for sure. I can help with business development and advising like on the team structure, like team building. So I'm serial entrepreneur since 2010, and I was a part of I think 7 to 8 projects, different industries, from digital marketing agency and like real estate marketplaces, for education marketplaces, and then also crypto and Web3, and advise many companies. So I can definitely advise regarding the team structure and like business development as well.
Yeah, for us, like I mentioned, we have now I think 57 blockchain engineers that have been in the space since like 2010, 2012. So each of our developers are probably at the level that they could be CTOs of any other blockchain if they left our company now. So obviously when you're at like a pre-seed or seed level, I think that's really difficult to find that kind of technical expertise, especially when you're trying to design your protocol and your consensus mechanism. So obviously we're pretty, I guess, big experts in that. So we're happy to help on that side.
So on our side, probably a little bit harsh, different. I will tell the startup or the founders the hard reality of life, okay? And that is, if you even have a chance to succeed or not with the current business model. If you can't succeed, go work for your competitors and then come back a year or two later, you probably have the formula. Because VCs are not accelerators. If you are not ready, join an accelerator to be trained. If you want to succeed, you have to be ready. And nobody can teach you that. Only you yourself.
It's harsh, But let's leave the stage for startups and have a closing remarks. Give a certain recommendation, whatever closing word you would like to have.
Yeah, work hard, play hard. So and also if you fail, then try again. Fail, try again. 10 times fail, 1 time win. It is like the formula of the entrepreneurs. If you are not ready for this, so don't try.
Because sooner or later you will win, right? You cannot lose every time.
Of course.
Yeah, I guess for me, unfortunately, I don't know if I could stay for the actual pitching afterwards, but if you're building anything at the protocol and consensus layer and you have any questions about it, we're actively deploying in that area. So if you see me around the conference, feel free to stop me and say hi.
My advice, very simple. If you have a good idea, make sure you have the experience that comes with the idea. If you have a good idea without the experience, go get the experience. Because that will determine whether you are able to make it a success or not. Or go work for your competitors.
Thank you very much. So good luck to our startups. Let's see.